Well guys, as you can see, I'm out here with a trail camera on the pole, and I did a review a year ago. Oh wow, it's 2 years ago probably, on the TAKEALOT cameras we in South Africa could buy on our cheap online store called TAKEALOT. And this is another one that I've had for 3 years now, running constantly out, and I thought maybe it's time to do a bit of a review on it for those South African hunters that are looking for an inexpensive camera that has been tested out in the South African bush. So I bought one on TAKEALOT, guys. It was a Campark T45. It said Campark T45 on it, and I ordered it, and that's what arrived on TAKEALOT. Then I ordered another 3 of them, and out of the 3 I got 3 cameras that looked the same, slightly different camos, doing same function inside and everything, but it wasn't labeled as a Campark T45. So that's kind of what happens on TAKEALOT, but the running system is exactly the same. So let me open up here. This one's been on the pole here for years. So you'll see in the inside, obviously it takes your 8 batteries. It's got the same up and down. It's got a display screen, and not that difficult to work. When you switch them on, this camera says welcome and goes straight to it. The Campark one, when you switch it on, it actually brings up the deer which says Campark on, but the thing is identical. The operating of it, the touchpad's different here, but it's set up exactly the same, and the quality of the photos, the format of the photos is identical. So let me get into this. I get cameras and I put them out in the bush. When I put them out in the bush, they don't leave the bush. I don't go fetch cameras and stuff. They live in the bush until they officially decide to, I'm done. So this camera has been out for probably 3 years. It hasn't faded. It's in the sun. The quality of these straps compared to the Tasco ones that I did the review on are way better. These have been in the sun and they haven't been brittle. I've moved cameras around, and definitely worthwhile. I think I paid 1,000. I think the most expensive one was 1,600 rand, and the cheapest at the time was 1,100 rand, 1,200 rand for this camera. The only thing that I found with the camera, guys, is I set my sensors on medium, because when you set them on high, they pick up everything. It's super sensitive, which is great with animals, but if you are setting up where it is slightly more brush that can trigger it, or there's a lot, so like for instance, yeah, 50 meters out there's a pine tree. In the wind, if it's blowing, it's going to trigger it, and it's amazing the distance it can trigger. And at night it's really good. It does video record, but the record quality, it's also got sound. The record quality is not bad, but I would say that the how can I say, the sound quality on it is just muffled. It's not great like some of the other cameras that I've got, where you can actually physically hear the animals eating and things. We've set this up over pig bait stations with video, but you can't even hear the pigs eating. It just picks up too much other surround noise. So that's the only one thing that I can pick on it. Oh, and then one thing that you will notice with these cameras, guys, if they've set up for a very long time and you haven't gone once a week to take data or you know, retrieve your SD cards for your photos and stuff, and you leave them out, like sometimes I leave them out between three months is probably the longest I've left a camera before I've gone to collect footage. The batteries last for 3 months in them, but if your camera is taking a lot of photographs, you will notice that it will be out of time. It kind of advances the time the more it takes photos, but I think it's to do with battery power. It doesn't, the clock never gets slower, it always gets ahead. So if it's 10:30 and the camera's been out and it's taken 2,000 photographs, you'll open it up and it'll say 10:45. It's like 15 minutes ahead now, and over the time it's sped up. So that's the one thing that I've noticed with it. And then what is the other? That's about it. That's crazy if it's thing. if you set the camera up, here's a good one for everyone. If you set the camera up on full video mode, where it just takes videos, the batteries will last you exactly 1 month. If you've got it set up in a really busy area, and like I had mine on a fence line and we were catching kudu, waterbuck, warthogs every day, bush pigs every night, nyala. It was a very busy camera. It lasted a month. But if you set up on photos, and I set them up 5-second gaps, sometimes 15, but most of the time 5-second, the camera batteries last me 3 months. So very inexpensive camera on TAKEALOT, guys. If you're in SA and you're looking for something that works, I use them because when the poachers steal them, it's not such a big smash up in my pocket. I've had the poachers steal 2 recently in a week now. So if it was a 6,000 Rand camera, I'd really be crying. But at 1,000 odd bucks, 2,000 bucks, you still feel it, but it's not crazy. So a little review on the Campark T45. This one is not a Campark T45, but it's what I bought on TAKEALOT, off the same order every time, and they just keep chopping and changing. So cheers, guys, happy hunting, and get yourself a couple of cheapies. They work.